Leading the league with JP Morosi, we're inching closer to the World Baseball Classic. Good stuff. JP, did you get hit in Michigan with the same snow we got here in the Northeast? How bad was it, first of all?
Oh, it was glorious. We had 2 snow days for the kids, a little bit of shoveling for us, a little bit of sledding for us as well. Meanwhile, my wife Alexis and my oldest daughter, they were down in Florida at a field hockey tournament. So I was at home with our 2 youngest. We rode it out together, and it was a wonderful memory for us all.
And putting the finishing touches on this long-awaited Great Britain story.
Not yet, Matt.
Why not?
Because he went to the Michigan-Nebraska basketball game.
Oh, right.
Number 3 against number 5.
Knocked him off, huh? No longer unbeaten.
I got to tell you guys, amazing atmosphere at Chrysler on a weekday night. I was very impressed by the Cornhuskers and Coach Hoiberg and his team. They were missing a couple key contributors, so to only have a 3-point loss to one of the best teams in the country, very impressed by both sides. Michigan State on Friday. I want to see as many Big Ten teams as possible in the Final Four this season.
We are in the Big Ten world these days.
Yeah.
Sorry, SEC.
And the money.
All right, let's get to the World Baseball Classic. Let's get to some baseball here. And this Great Britain story, we talk about teams like nation teams like Great Britain, and the subset for me is, cute story. Do they have a chance to compete here? What are we looking at realistically?
Well, they definitely have a chance to compete, Matty. And you think back to the last World Baseball Classic, Great Britain made their WBC debut, played actually pretty competitively against Team USA in their first game, but this was the one that they're still talking about in Great Britain. That is the Jaden Rudd double, the Harry Ford home run. Great Britain was able to defeat Team Colombia. That win allowed them to qualify for this World Baseball Classic, now with a new manager, Brad Marcelino, who actually has represented Great Britain internationally himself as a player. His father, Oscar, also played for Team GB. And here's what Brad Marcelino told me during the winter meetings about the development of baseball in Great Britain.
I think back personally to '99 when I first played for the program, all the way to my last year in 2012. Now, here as a staff, as a country, the momentum is a big deal, right? And I think now it's a matter of us putting it all together, making sure that we're understanding we're here to win. But we definitely had press from the Times, from the news, from different politicians within the UK. I think it just, schools are picking up on it, right? Like you covered, the Harry story. And then all of a sudden Harry was kind of known then, and then all of a sudden he exploded on the scene, and different elementary schools and different teachers and students were picking up on this. So I think it kind of took a life of its own.
Wow. What a great family story, the Marcelino. So there on the left is Brad's father, Oscar, who was playing for the national team in the 1980s. He had moved along with Brad's mother from the Philippines to Great Britain in 1975, and then eventually going to the U.S. In the middle, though, that is Brad Marcelino hitting in Enfield in Great Britain as a kid around 1989. And then on the far right is Brad's son, Clayson. Brad has 2 sons, Clayson and Easton. They might also represent Team GB at the international level, too. That was Clayson throwing out the first pitch at the 2017 WBC qualifier, and there are the Marcelinos along with Brad's wife, Joanna. So this has become truly, guys, a family story. Harry Ford, there he is with Brad. And you get a sense for what this tournament means, not just for the teams like the U.S. and Japan, for whom it is gold medal or bust, but the WBC as a way to grow the game. And Brad was on the coaching staff when Great Britain won that game against Colombia at the last Classic, which, again, you had English school kids dressing up as Sir Harry Ford the next day in classrooms in London or around England because they had been watching what was happening in this new sport in Phoenix. And, guys, I love making this point that there are some early examples of literature in which there's a belief, Matt and Harold, that baseball, not just rounders, but baseball itself, was actually invented in Great Britain in the 19th century
get
before
me
coming
started.
over. And I'm telling you, it's the story that baseball was actually born in Britain and then immigrated here
They can
to the
revoke
U.S.
your
Oh,
American
boy,
card.
be careful, man. Be careful, JP.
Yeah, you're going to get blasted online for that. It's the American sport. All right, listen. So let's go to Japan.
It's
also
the American
claiming-
support that's been perfected in Japan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Who's claiming it is now their sport. But
Yeah.
look, I was watching on the network the other day. I forgot about the 2009 WBC, and Ichiro had the big knock. He hadn't hit the whole series and came up with the base hit to drive in two to win it. So we watched Ichiro. In that same series, Darvish did his thing. We watched the last one, Ohtani did his thing. So what's next for Japan as we get ready to take them on? Come on, Team America, D-Row.
That's
Talk
right,
to
Harold.
me.
Well, of course, Team Japan has won this tournament more than any other nation. Internationally, they've long been the #1 ranked team, not just in the World Baseball Classic, but in other WBSC events. And who can forget the way that last tournament ended? Of course, that classic game, Murakami the home run. On the mound, you had Darvish, you had Ohtani closing it out. The famous conclusion there, the then Angels teammates Ohtani and Trout. This, though, is the next generation. For so many years, this has been where the next Japanese star has been found. Well, now we see so much Japanese talent in MLB that roughly a third of the Samurai Japan roster are already names that we know. Ohtani, Yamamoto, Suzuki is back in the Classic. Kikuchi, Murakami, of course, now the new member of the White Sox. Yuki Matsui in the bullpen. Kazuma Okamoto, who just signed with the Jays. And Tomoyuki Sugano, who is the godson of Hara, the longtime manager and star player in Japan. So Sugano is still unsigned. But you'll have roughly a third of Team Japan's roster already having arrived to Major League Baseball. So they've got the WBC title to defend. Of course, the Taiwanese national team, though, they're the reigning champions in the Premier 12. They actually defeated Team Japan in the finals of that one. So there's a lot of different, I think, tasks there for Team Japan to show they are still the world's #1, even as D-Row is building an American team for the ages. I think Team Japan...
Okay, so let me jump in here, JP. Let me jump in.
For Team USA. Go ahead.
So one name missing. Roki Sasaki. Is he pitching with Team Japan? Because I think he's the guy that's going to bust out this time.
We have not seen Sasaki announced yet. That is still a question, Harold. We are awaiting the final roster announced in a week, which will be, by the way, on MLB Network. So there's still some intrigue about exactly who is going to be on Team Japan's roster for all the rest of the spots. But with respect to Sasaki, I think the big question there is, will he be building up in spring training with the Dodgers to be a starting pitcher, or will his role be more in the bullpen, which of course we saw
started this year.
And that, to me, Harold, so again, I think you're right. He's going to be a starting pitcher, building him up. And if he's not on Team Japan for the Classic, I would say the reason is that he wants to be in Glendale and building up those innings to be able to start.
Okay, one thing I want to throw at you. So the U.S. is doing the same thing, but we may have guys in camp that we bring along the way. Japan has that same right as well, right? So he could actually miss the first round or so and join them when they came to America playing in Miami. Is that possible?
Yes. H, that has been, and we have seen that come along. It's been called the designated pitchers pool. Remember that from the last couple of Classics?
Yes.
You can at times add and change your roster in between rounds. And so again, Team Japan opens over in Japan. They host the first round.
I think it stinks.
They would then come over to Florida for the quarterfinals if, as we expect, they qualify for the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So it is possible that there could be an adjustment to the roster if you leave a couple spots open to be able to add someone for that quarterfinal round and beyond. So stay tuned there. If Roki
I look
is
for
in
that to happen.
Well, I look for that to happen as well. Harold, you've got good sourcing and information on the WBC rosters, my friend. Well done.
I've been around it.
A chance to play for your country and then get into the conga line and win it all and meet Harold Reynolds afterwards.
Everybody would have signed it in blood.
Right, they would have signed it in blood. JP, good stuff. What are you working on for later in the week that we might be able to kick down the road for another week or two in terms of storylines?
So here we go. One more classic storyline for you. Nolan Arenado has played twice before, and he has plans to play for a new country in the Classic this time around. So we'll tease that one. We'll get Nolan Arenado's plans next time.
It's a teaser.
You're fluent in Spanish, right?
Yeah, he's fluent in Spanish.